of smoke. Breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. And the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control.
What's going on? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Apex Destiny podcast. You can find out more about us at our Discord. The link is down below. We also have links to our YouTube, where we post all of our podcast content, as well as our links to our individual Twitter handles. What's going on, guys? We have Matt Albs, which is me. We got Face returning. Oops. And we got a special guest tonight, Mr. Ice. Ice cold. So what's going on, guys?
Not much. Still sick because it
Oh,
never
okay.
ends. At least it's not weird. Matt, do you live in a shed?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. That explains it then.
Yeah.
All right. Then Hasa pointed out that wasn't lettuce with mayo on it. It was dressing, but I don't believe
I didn't look. I posted my steaks in there earlier. They were lovely.
All right.
So we'll kick it off with a little bit of the TWAB review.
I think the only interesting thing in the TWAB today was whatever that was that they're changing the way the pinnacle system works.
Mm-hmm.
So previously, it was every pinnacle dropped one power up, and you needed a full +1 set to start getting the level 952 stuff. And of course, that means that you couldn't actually hit 960 by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now you only need 4 drops to level, which means that next week you could get 2 levels.
Yeah, it's way better. Like, I don't know. I felt like the 1+ drops. What was the amount you needed to max out? 80 perfect drops.
Yeah,
That's
a lot.
and
No
of course, there's no power weapon from the raid. So on a normal week, you'd have to get that from the Nightfall or the Master Nightmare hunts.
I still
And go ahead.
held on to my Iron Banner bounties from the last Iron Banner to save
Oh, yeah.
them from when I needed them, because I'm still not 950 yet. I'm close.
Hmm.
Because they were pinnacle
Yeah.
drop, and I didn't want to waste it on,
Yeah,
not
like-
until I'm 950.
Not going over there, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this week you're going to want to wait until Thursday for that to. You saying something, Matt?
No, I just think if they were gonna do like the 1+ and it was gonna be a whole 80 perfect drops that you need to level up to the 960, that we should have had an infinite way to obtain the pinnacles.
No.
Whereas you don't like that idea?
No.
I mean,
No. I'd be 960 already.
I mean, but that's how Destiny was before. Like, I understand making it a bit
How
harder.
is that how Destiny was before if the meme is still Forever 29?
I mean, that I don't know. I feel like the last couple expansions it wasn't nearly as hard to hit cap.
Well,
Am I wrong?
You're at cap, Matt. You've hit the cap.
No, 960 is the pinnacle cap, which everybody wants. You want to be the highest that the game allows you to be.
950 is the cap. Now, see, or again, this is the pinnacle system. And I kind of disagree with adding everything to +2. They should have given us a few more per week and kept it as +1.
And I don't think it should be easy. I just don't think, like, you literally, like, hard cap people. Like, no, you cannot get any more pinnacles for this week. I don't like that. If I want to grind something out, even if it takes me way more hours than somebody else, so let's say, then that's my decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand if you want to make it slower and you don't want, like, to be at the 960 or your players to be at the 960 the very following week, then yeah, make it harder. But I don't know. You're making it unobtainable, literally, when you're hard capping it every week. You know what I mean? And that's where I disagree with it. But I also agree with you saying, like, you know, if I would have got it the first week and hit 960, then why the fuck am I playing Destiny still, kind of thing. I don't know.
I think it's a complicated thing that it's the first time they're doing the system. I'm going to have to think about how Shadow... It'll be something to talk about after we get through the rest of Shadow. After we talk about the rest of Shadow.
Fair enough. Now, we would talk about the TWAB more normally, but it was pretty bland. So
there's a new fashion contest again.
Hey, the emblem is sexy though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is a nice emblem. Izanagi's is bugged again because, of course, it is.
I heard it was worse.
I think, yeah, because it'll actually eat some of your progress.
Yep. I had a couple of my buddies get stuck on it, and I was like, "Wait, they just fixed that? Clearly not. Clearly not."
I should have got Izanagi's back in December.
I'm glad I
did.
did.
The chance, but I didn't want to do the forges. Like, I didn't really like it, and it was boring. And I didn't want to have to grind it out, so I didn't do it. Now I'm kicking myself in the butt.
Of course.
Yep, that sounds about right. If you don't do it, you don't get the reward. Although, some people are saying stuff like, just give it to everyone. And that's stupid.
Well, I don't... The thing is, it's unobtainable now. And guess what? It's a meta weapon for PvE. So it kind of sucks that people can't grab this even the real way, right? Doing the quest line or whatever. But I can see them fucking putting that shit in the loot pool, like random drops. I can see them doing that.
Okay. 30% of people have Izanagi. And 18% have Mountain. Now that's after the quest change. Last season, for the quest changes, when Mountaintop and Anarchy were the mega meta weapon, not like it is right now with Izanagi's, where there are at least 3 other viable alternatives. Back then it was used Mountaintop and Anarchy or you were going to have a bad time. I guess there were powerful nade launchers that could compete to. The Mountaintop Anarchy was just super strong. It's not like that right now. It's not that bad. A ton of people still have Izanagi's, and you can use other. Giving it to everyone would not be.
But
maybe
it's like you're saying, fine, it's fine for 30% of the people that have it. But then, like, all right, like in a game like the Division 2, I was grinding this one gun that was on a weekly rotation with these missions, and the mission that I needed never came up. Sorry, it wasn't a rotation; it was random. The fact that I couldn't get the gun was infuriating because the game was keeping me from getting it. It's a similar situation, except this is on Bungie. They made a mistake here, and prior to this release, the gun wasn't meta.
Well, we knew for like a month in advance.
Yeah, you were saying it for sure. I know that.
Yeah, I would say that, Johnny. Johnny says just complete the quest stuff for everyone. They should obviously, if it ate your keys, give it back and progress the quest.
And that's something I could see them doing, because didn't they just do that in Iron Banner?
They
With one of the...
yeah, they had an issue where
Yeah.
it said get super kills. It had a grenade icon, and it actually progressed with getting SMG kills.
And I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I do not think Xur should sell this weapon. It's not. I don't think it should be a fully give me weapon. At least if it's in the loot pool, you kind of have to get a drop for that to happen.
I don't understand how these quests keep getting broke in the first place.
There's too many variables for them to test, and that's probably where it ends up happening.
But
It'd be nice if they could catch it all, but like their Velveeta team is not going to be able to catch as much as, even just the 200,000 people playing it on Steam consistently.
yeah,
And then YCG, I think that not waiting for weekly resets, they've done that before where they'll hot patch something, but it's nice because it gives their developers a deadline so they don't rush with something. And they also don't have to suddenly take down the game. People know when it's going to be down, and you can plan, okay, well, I know that the game's going to be down Tuesday at reset, so I'm not going to stay home or plan on playing.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd stay home on Tuesday to play Destiny.
reset
I
day.
won't judge.
I used to take Tuesdays off or have Tuesdays off and play Destiny.
Oh, I could, yeah. Oh, well. Not something that I'm ever able to do.
But
Just
Iron,
reading for
Work.
Iron Banner next week.
Yeah, what is the deal with that?
There's Iron Banner next.
Yeah, but it's usually 3 weeks, right? This is a 2-week rotation now.
It's another month.
I think it's because this season's shorter.
Okay, maybe. I'm fine with it. I think it's cool to have it back.
Which
so
my
soon.
big problem with Iron Banner now is it's always control. Like whatever happened to
Whoa! But that's Iron Banner, man.
That's the best.
it used to be Clash back in the day.
No, it was always Control, and then later on they did like a rotation where it would be Clash, it would be Control the following time, and then like Deathmatch. Or no, that's Clash, and then I think another mode the following time.
I think
I
they
remember
even
them.
did Supremacy one time. I liked Supremacy.
No,
Yeah.
keep it Clash.
You mean Control or
Or
Clash?
Control.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
it
know, I
currently
agree.
is.
I mean, that's the mode. Like when I think of Iron Banner as a Destiny player, I'm thinking Control. You know what I mean? That's just how they trained my mind. That's the mode that they made it. You know what I mean?
Well, I like it because there's a clear thing that you're trying to do. I hate it when it's just running around. Because if it was just running around, then, oh my god. I would
Yeah.
go on a tangent about PvP being
I
stupid.
would have liked to. I would have liked to see new Iron Banner weapons for the new year.
We'll get there. I'm sure that we won't go an entire year without getting new weapons. But
Yeah.
with Shadowkeep, I'm willing to wait it.
It's a good thing we're talking about Shadowkeep, because this episode is going to be our Shadowkeep review. That's what we're going to try to focus on today. So,
Where
what
to
do you guys
start?
think? So, I don't want to go into detail yet because we'll get there. But as a general, statement, how do you feel about Shadowkeep so far, Ice?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The moon is cool. With the
Big fan of the moon.
revisioning of the old space and the shadows and going in and with Eris. It's pretty well done. I like it. The moon was one of my favorite places. The moon and the Dreadnought were my two favorite places in
Mhm.
Destiny 1. Which, if they would have gave us the Dreadnought back this season, would have been cool too.
Yo, Kayla, I
Say
kind
that.
of agree with you. I played like 2 matches of that, and that mode is pretty fun. It's like a good change of pace mode, you know?
I haven't played that game mode yet.
You should. It's literally get a 150 scout, one-shot headshots. It's freaking dope.
I think the entire point of it is so that you can easily get random progress,
I love it.
which is great.
Yes.
No, I like scouts one-shotting. It gives them a reason to exist.
I mean, it's just a better sniper, man. At that point.
Yeah, but that's fun, Sweaty. It's fun to run in there and
Oh,
play
yeah.
the game with hacks for a little bit.
Yeah, but like I said, like you said, it hacks, right? So it's just like a nice change of pace. Like go in there, have some fun, get a group,
See,
and
Sweaty,
just go ham.
you're saying it's not fun, but that's not because the mode isn't fun. That's because Destiny 2 PvP isn't fun. And you're
Yeah.
now realizing what everyone else realizes. And it's shit.
I don't know.
I love me some PvP, but Face is not wrong, bro.
I feel
Not a
that
good.
PvP right now is pretty well balanced. Like PvP, well, besides the supers being super strong and bottom tree striker and all that stuff,
So
I
Rex,
I
go
enjoyed
ahead.
Crucible for the most part.
Well, speaking of Crucible again, Rex did say she likes the heavy changes, which I do like too.
Yes.
There's a lot of really good changes. But I posted his video. I think it was Cammy Cakes makes a really good point. Where PvP, one of the reasons it's not fun is because it has the same issue that we had in PvE last season, where it's just the same weapons the entire time. Except now in PvP, I was in there last night grinding Randy's trying to get cold fusion kills. I was having a blast. Playing these people was fun. Trying to get my fusion rifle kills or swapping over to my Thorn when I ran out of ammo, and then dueling with people was just so much fun. And then I got into a match with a guy named Diwu. I think it was Diwu. I don't know. And he was a hunter. He had arc battery on. He had Recluse and a Dustrock Blue. And it was just like, are you having fun in this game mode? Because this is stupid. You're running in, insta-killing anyone. If you get touched, you dodge and get your full health back and your dodge back. And you just shoot them with Recluse or your Dustrock. And you can't counter it. And if I wanted to start playing against him, I had a few times where I beat him, and that was really nice because he's a shitty player. But, like, that's not fun. In order to compete against that, I have to put on the same stuff that's really strong too. And then it's just everyone's using the same things and it's not fun and
Yeah.
yes, I dislike PvP.
No, I think Coma hit it on the head. Is if there's PvP and PvE together, right? Balancing together, PvP can never be good. It can't. I'm sorry. It's two different modes, and you're balancing them. It's just not gonna work. Plus, we have so many freaking weapons in Destiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just a couple. I mean, obviously, a couple are the ones that you're gonna bring, and they're meta, but
Well,
it's so hard.
Are the really unique one. The ones that have their own perks. Like Master of Arms, YCG said that Recluse shouldn't be proc with itself. No, the issue with Recluse is that it's too easy to use. The fact that you can get a crit TTK just from getting body shots is a problem. Because it's got that floor there, like it's pretty easy to use effectively, it forces people to throw it on in PvP in order to compete with other people who are using it in PvP. If they instead just made it, I want them to change it so that it has Outlaw and it has basically a version of Kill Clip that refreshes itself on kill. And that's it. And then it wouldn't be such a ridiculously broken gun. Well, other than the fact that SMGs are totally...
All right, guys, let's not make fun of each other in chat. But I don't think I don't know. I just think you can't balance them. You can't really take the PvP as seriously as some other games that really just focus on PvP. Like, I'm not a Call of Duty fan, but that game, makes a strong fucking focus on their PvP. That's their focal point for that game.
Well, and most of the stuff that ends up becoming an issue in PvP does end up being an issue in PvE too. Like Recluse is an issue in PvE because it's just too strong. It makes you not want to use anything else.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't not used Recluse as my middle weapon since I got it. It's stayed there because there's nothing better or worth time taking it off to replace it.
Yeah, Rex, we probably should just do a full
PvP
at
mode,
some
yeah,
point.
probably.
Make
Maybe
a
next
roll
one.
for PvP. Johnny, I think you're the first person to ever suggest that. I really like that idea. Why don't you
We haven't
talk to me
thought about
it?
that before, man. Yeah. So,
That's
Ice,
funny. Yeah.
how do you feel about the price tag for Shadowkeep? Do you think it's worth the $35? Are you like content with the content that you're getting for that price?
Yes, like it's very. The size of it's pretty close to what Rise of Iron was. You got a raid, and there's a lot of stuff to do with the exotic quests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that with
Xenophage,
you got that
Deathbringer.
with you got that with Rise of Iron. You got the raid, and you got the outbreak quest, and
No, that's a good point. How about you, Face?
Do I like the price?
Like, do you think the price is fair for the content that you're getting?
Oh, oh, oh. Yes, there are a lot
Yeah.
of people who don't think that, obviously. So my internet, I had internet with AT&T because out here where I live, that was like the only option. But they haven't installed the upgraded lines or whatever, so we're still going through the phone. We were paying like $100 a month for 45 megabit. It was
Oof.
terrible.
Oof.
So we had that fixed this week. And when the guy came to install, he was a young guy. He pointed out the ghost that I had from Destiny. He's like, "Oh, that's the eye from Destiny." Close enough, but okay. And we started talking about games. He's like, "Oh yeah, I tried Destiny, but the $30 a month for every expansion was too much." And I'm like, "That's not what it is.
It's not even
$35
close to every
for
month.
Shadowkeep is fantastic.
Yeah.
A ton
I
of
also
content.
agree. It's fine. The fine price for what we got.
It doesn't redo the whole game,
Mm-hmm.
but there's enough new stuff and enough changes that, you know, I'm not playing a brand new game. Continuation of one of my favorite games. I don't know why I would need it to be any different. And then you get to the seasons, and we've yet to see what the seasons are really going to look like because this season has been tainted with too much Shadowkeep.
Yeah, I agree.
But $10 for 3 months? People are complaining about like the season pass doesn't give you enough. I thought we'd get it. Like $10.
Well,
For
you're paying for
$10,
future content
you
too.
can get 1,000 silver for $10.
Yeah.
And you get a minimum of 3,900 silvers worth of things from the season. Now, personally, I'd like them to let me repeat the season pass, and then like the second time through, replace like the exotic ship and ornaments with the random engram or whatever.
Mhm.
But I just want to play it through again. If I was getting ascendant shards and enhancement cores for doing it, I'd be playing it right now and sitting here idling on WoW. But as it is, for the price, yes, I think the price is.
And I think it could have been better, but like the fact that they're on their own, there's no Activision. I thought that as a whole the content was great. I had a couple problems with the story, but like the raid, I loved it. Like all these activities that they brought in there. What was the nightmare? What are the nightmare things called?
Nightmare hunts.
Is that, and then what is the thing that's like the escalation protocol now?
That's the Altar of Sorrow.
Yeah, and they kind of just threw that in there, and it's not like a big thing, but it's there, And then I think if you get to a certain tier, you could unlock certain weapons and stuff like that. They could only get through that, which is nice. Ice mentioned the exotic quest, which I thought we did. We got quite a few right out the gate. No, not out the gate. We got Deathbringer was like right after the story.
And we've had Leviathan's Breath now, and we've had
Xenophage.
Divinity and Xenophage. Mind you, Divinity's tied to the raid, but they completely changed the way the raid goes. Like, because that you have to, it's not an RNG drop.
Yeah.
Thank God.
No,
which me personally, I like the RNG drops because it gives you a reason. It gives you a reason to do the raid.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It gives you a reason to run the raid. But speaking as someone who did it like 120 times to get that fucking sparrow so I could get Ravensbane, it wasn't fun. That's not good game design. That's Stockholm.
Well, yeah, because it took me 60 clears of Last Wish to get, all I needed was 1K. And every time I would run it, I would see people who have less than 10 runs would get 1K. And it would irk me.
Yeah.
It's
Now, in
irritating
fairness,
beyond belief.
they've been a little better about the RNG stuff with the titles.
Oh,
I think,
well,
yeah.
because people complain very, very specifically.
Well, I think they knew it was an issue too when they're seeing people doing the raid 120 times and not completing it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
we had a lot of shorter exotic quests, and I've seen some people complaining about that, like this isn't the Thorn quest, and none of them have been as good as what was one of the last ones we got that was really good. Not the dungeon ones that are like, or the mini ones that are like Outbreak or Whisper. But I thought there was an exotic quest we got recently that everyone. I can't remember what it.
Recently? Was it?
Well, we had
said-
some like truth. That wasn't bad.
No. And you said not the Risk Runner.
I don't remember what I'm thinking of.
The Lumina?
Maybe I know people. I've seen people complaining that these exotic quests are way too short.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I did them all in a day anyway.
Yeah.
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 It doesn't change the amount of time it took us to get them.
Then there's a couple ones where you do have to grind pretty hard, like Thorn and Last Word.
We
Those
got
were a
Thorn
little.
in a day. I didn't.
Yeah,
get
I mean,
Last
and
Word
I
in a
got
day.
those both in a day. So like you said, even though it was those that maybe were like a couple of the harder ones, we still grinded that out in a day.
Yeah, so shortening the length of the quest doesn't. And then
Yeah.
the Divinity exotic quest. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, I thought it was
Repurposes
cool.
raid content.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel totally out of place. It was fun enough to do, even if a little irritating at some points. I would pay the $10 for them to go back and redo all of the year 2 raid exotics as quests. I
That'd
would
be cool.
I would do that. That'd be fun.
So actually, Rex asked you a good question because I said that he kind of likes doing the raids for that RNG drop for like the raid exotic, right? So what keeps you playing in the raid after you get those things, Face?
It depends on the raid. I did Leviathan a lot because it was the first, and all the year 1 raids, because it was the first raid I'd ever done in Destiny at all. And I just really enjoyed the content. It was fun to play as a Devour Lock, and it just ran it a ton with people that I enjoyed playing with, and that was it. I didn't do the year 2 raids as much because Destiny has been consistently, and in my opinion for the better, moving away from raids being the main PvE content. Like there's always some other stuff, like there was that one Trial of Elders, not the Prison of Elders, Archon's Forge, I think it was, and
In Destiny 1?
yeah, in Rise of Iron.
Yeah.
And there was the
I
thing
remember
about
that.
the Dreadnought, with this Altar of Oryx or something.
Oh no, what the fuck was it called?
Court of
Oryx. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that was dope.
I
When
love
we first
that.
like got in there. Yeah.
So you've had those before,
Mhm.
but now Destiny's got Nightmare Hunts, they've got the Altar of Sorrows, and something like that in almost every expansion. There's a Menagerie, there's Gambit, which is, as much as people hate it, people do actually play it. There's the Match
Gambit.
Made Ordeal, which if you want to do something rewarding, go do that. You get like 2 enhancement cores a run, which is
But
way
when
better.
you say not the main thing, the main focus of the PvE, like I kind of like, I don't know. For me, it doesn't sit well with me. I feel like that should be the pinnacle activity for PvE.
No, see, it is still the pinnacle activity.
Mhm.
It's
No, I
just
agree.
not.
But you're
what-
saying you want to see them move away from that.
Well, in year 1, in year 1, I would log on. I'd be like, "What do I want to do?" Well, I'm not going to do EP because I already have those weapons or whatever. I'm not going to do Infinite Forest from Curse of Osiris because no, thank you. I think most people would rather play Gambit than do Infinite.
Yep. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really anything from vanilla. So up until they gave us Solstice of Heroes, where we would go through and do the triumphs, it was just raid. So I raided. I did a lot of raids. Now I don't need to. There's other stuff I can do. If someone needs, like, there's a lot of people who need help with raids, and I'll still troll LFG or our LFG PvE to find people who need help with a raid. But more often than not, it's like I need help with Chasm of Screams, or I want to do 100k, or I'm trying to do this Master Nightmare Hunt, or I'll just derp around and get some Glimmer because of the way that they changed mods and bounties. You actually need to keep farming Glimmer now. And they've added with the ritual weapons and the Undying title that's going away, there's a lot of stuff to do in the game that isn't a raid. So I think that they don't need to keep us playing the raid beyond stuff like Pinnacle gear and helping friends, because it's not the main reason people play the game anymore.
That makes sense. I rated a lot more in Destiny 1. Well, because
Yeah.
the game was based around a raid. Because there
Yeah,
wasn't
like,
really,
bro, if you were
there
doing
wasn't,
PvE, you kind of needed to raid.
there
Like,
wasn't
that
really
was-
nothing else to do. Like during the week on reset, you would bust your raids out, and then you would run strikes, play some Crucible, and then the weekend you play Trials all weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And people say stuff like, "Oh, I wish it was just like or no, what am I trying to say?" People complain about not having good weapons from the raid anymore. I don't really like that argument because it's way better to have weapons that are easily attainable. There should still be good weapons in the raid, and they should have good rolls on them. But it shouldn't be that you need to do the raid in order to be viable in other content.
Right.
I like the change they made to Recluse to make that obtainable. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's stupid easy to get now.
Mhm.
I'm actually considering helping my friend get it when before I never would have touched comp or
Mhm.
considered trying to help someone else get through comp.
But to touch on that too, that kind of shows how broken PvP is that they had to like dumb that down. But that's we'll talk
yeah,
about that
there's a lot
another
of it.
time. But still,
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think they need to add more reasons to keep us playing the raid, other than what they've done. There's
Yeah.
stuff to do in it, and it's fun to
and
do.
you can you are all four of the drops pinnacles or just
They're
what
all
is it?
pinnacle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Not
that's
the
a huge
in-between
reason.
chest, but
Yeah, I figured that, but no, I think that's right then in there is a huge reason to keep playing the raid.
now see, if you want to talk about improving raid loot, they need to make it so that nothing in the raid drops below a 60 on stats.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool too, because then it gives you incentive to
I
go
got
in there
a
for other things.
47 from an armor piece today, and
Did
I'm
you
like,
really?
why? Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, that's horrible. That
There's
is.
one perk that I'd like to see back from a raid weapon. They had it on the King's Fall weapons that when you would stow it away, it would reload, which was nice for the machine gun. That I loved that. Quillem's Terminus. That thing was so good with that perk on it. You just get ammo, switch to it, switch back. When you need it, it's reloaded.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see that seasonal mod on armor than a weapon
Ooh,
slot. Well,
interesting.
actually, I'd prefer to see them take perks on weapons and make that into a weapons 2.0 like armor 2.0, but that's a
Yeah.
different. What'd you think?
Go ahead.
What'd you think about Goss, Matt?
Oh, Goss, I loved it. I honestly loved it. Maybe up until the boss. And it's not that I hate the encounter. It's just that tether is a little finicky, and it's annoying. Like I know for a fact. I think I was with you. It was me, you, and Ambu on the tether. I think Ambu was in front. You could see the fucking line going right to the boss, and it just never dropped his shield or whatever. Like it was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
So
we had
obviously there's bugs and shit, but that one really just bothers me. Now the tether mechanic I do like throughout like the rest of the raid, but for the boss for some reason it just irks me.
I would want them. The tether mechanic should have some better agency over it. Trying to tether to someone, or like, there's that part on the left side where you get the second and third platforms from the left side gone, with the half one on the far left counting as one. And if you stand in one spot, there's one spot where you can stand on a permanent island that you don't know which one it's going to rebuild. It's
See?
just.
I think maybe they could fix that in an update or something. I hope they can. But other than that, like I thought the encounters were really fun. Like the first encounter, second encounter, I think are just so fun. I don't know how to explain it other than being really fun.
They're
Because you're
very
constantly
involved.
moving. Yeah.
it feels like you're claiming ground, which is something I think they kept from Shirochi, which is awesome. The first encounter, doing it day one was really interesting, and I kind of like to be able to do challenge mode again to see if we can finish it now that we know how to do. Because we came up with fast strats, but not the ones that I get through day one. But the first encounter is fun. That kind of relay race and a little bit of coordination there. It just feels good to capture the land like that. The second encounter is just long enough to feel like you're doing something without being stupidly boring like the crown. So that's nice. Third encounter, if you've got a good Gambit team with a sword skating warlock, that goes really fast. And then the boss, I've been trying to figure out why it feels so different from other raids. That's because if you mess up on the first, yes, Pasta, Sir Fluffy, she's got this weird obsession with boss in the third encounter.
He's not fluffy.
Not fluffy at all.
But whatever.
But then you go to the boss, and
Harpy team.
In other raids, in Levy, Riven, any of them, going to a second phase, there's no punishment. Nothing happens. Goss, the boss here, feels really frustrating because if you get to the second phase and you haven't done well on the first phase, I just tell my teams to wipe if we haven't done half the damage, or if I don't think we can, because you're probably down a significant number of platforms unless you have good builders, and then you're actually punished for doing a second phase. I kind of like it, although it does make teaching new people feel really painful.
I like it, and I think it's a raid that you could kind of like carry people, like on that third encounter. Put the bad players on Harpy. That's where they put me. But you know, I don't know. I just like you said, I couldn't put my finger on it either, but it feels much different than a lot of the other raids, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much.
It's also a good size. Like It's still a big raid, but it's only
the 4 encounters. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not daunting. I don't do Last Wish often just because it's so much stuff. And maybe if it didn't have that ass of an encounter vault in the middle of it, it wouldn't be bad. But
I'll have to agree. I did a Last Wish for the first time the other day in like
probably
Josh? 3 months, and it was nice to do it. But vaults that encounter that, you could get almost done, somebody doesn't kill their last knight, and then it's a wipe, and you have to spend that whole entire time doing it over and over again.
Yeah, that's an example of it just taking way too long. So, oh well. But yeah, it's a fun raid.
I definitely take it. If you had to rate it, and don't go crazy, but where would you put it for Destiny 2 raids? Don't mention any Destiny 1 raids.
I haven't done it yet, so I can't.
Fair enough. We'll get you there, bud. We'll get you there soon.
I like it better than Crown, just because that first encounter of Crown is ass.
Actually, I love that raid, and I agree with you though. The counter's just bad, but yeah.
I like it better than either.
Do people still even mention that raid?
I think it would probably be my favorite raid in the game if we could just get rid of the gauntlet encounter from Leviathan. That would hands down be my favorite raid. But it still exists. Hate it.
Yeah, but you're also one of the very few people I know that thinks Dogs is a good encounter.
Dogs is a fantastic encounter.
I see the appeal to it.
It's engaging. There's tons of player agency. You're rewarded for doing well, and it goes very quickly if you're good at it. It's fantastic.
I'll have to agree with Chase.
Whereas something like the beginning of Crown of Sorrows, there is not a single encounter in Crown of Sorrows that is as good as
the beginning of Crown. They should shorten it to 2, because 4 cycles is way too long.
Yeah. Like, even Baths is fine, because it's not stupid-ass long. Okay, Rex. I mean, maybe that's just because you haven't run it enough with me. I don't hide anywhere unless it's, like, prestige. No. 80 stacks minimum. My personal record, I think, was 14 when Halford and I were doing it.
Wait, what was it?
I think I got up to 14.
Oh my god. What did you just punch them? And they died?
Yeah, something like that.
Jeez.
I did it with Frankie today and got up to like 6.
Nice. You did a
I-
Levi?
Yeah, I did a
Today?
teaching run with. I did a teaching run with
Nice.
Frankie.
I would love to see like a prestige mode for Garden of Salvation in the vein of Leviathan prestige mode. Although looking back at it, I taught a Leviathan last night, and a lot of the encounters they're like, "So what's the difference?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing." And they're like, "Okay."
Wow.
Oh, speaking of that, whatever happened to that? Like Destiny 1, each raid had a normal mode and a hard mode, and they were
Yeah.
different.
Bungie put out a statement on it. They specifically want to. They specifically do not want the full raid experience, to be locked behind a harder difficulty, because so few people raid to begin with, that to make an entire difficulty mode that's got its own stuff,
Yeah.
people would feel like,
Makes
oh well, you
sense.
haven't
And
actually.
I'll hit on that too. The one raid that we got in Destiny 2 that actually changed the encounters a bit was Leviathan. And then in Destiny 1, there's like the encounters actually were a bit different, but like wipe mechanic different. You played Kingsfall, right? Ice?
That was my favorite raid.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. But in the heroic version, and the final boss, the knights spawned.
Yep.
Remember? But in
Yep.
normal, they didn't, and that was a big game changer for that raid. So I get it. I do miss it though. It was fun to see those raids going hard and stuff, but you know,
I'd
And then
prefer to see
the
changes like that.
challenges. I like I do like the raid challenges though, but some of them are ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
some of the stuff they have to have you do.
Which raid challenges?
Like the Sorochi one, that one was pain in the ass.
that one was like the worst.
I still need to finish the raid challenges for Scourge, but some of those are pain in the butt.
I don't think I did all of those. I did some of them. What's the title for the garden? They have to have one, right?
Not sure.
Yes, it is Enlightened, and I will 100% be running that. We did the
I figured
challenges.
you would.
We did the challenges for that the other week, and they were really good challenges. There's stuff that actually made us reconsider the way we were doing it. They're really irritating, and stop hitting yourself. Oh, frustrating. But they're all good raid challenges. I haven't done flawless yet, just because I haven't tried it at all yet. I don't think that's going to be too difficult, except for dying on the jumping parts. Other than that, there aren't really a lot of things where you should be dying. Maybe the Cyclopses. Yes, you do need flawless for the title. It's not in the. It's not in. It's not in the Triumph as the
It's a
Triumph
shader,
badge.
right?
It's that you get the shader, which you need for the collection. I do like, but that's a completely different other topic.
See, I remember beating Crota Zen for the very first time, and ever put on that glow hoo, run around the tower with that glow hoo on, that shader. I wish we had better shaders.
I remember Glowhoo, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chatter White.
Yep.
Remember Chatter White?
I would
Yeah,
love
but
Glow.
but that system is like bad.
You mean where everything got shaded with one shader?
Yes. Now I like this one better. Like you could, kind of customize your own look if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd like to keep it how it is.
Maybe keep it how it is and just bring some of those back.
We just need more shader space.
It's a joke.
I need more bounty space because I have like 7 Iron Banner bounties chilling, and then if you go pick up bounties anywhere else, you can't even hold that many.
That's because your bounty space is shared with quest space.
All right.
Limiting bounty space is still good.
I want to hit on two things because we covered a bunch of the raid. The dungeon just launched this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was pretty cool. I still think I might like the Shattered Throne a little better,
Mm-hmm.
but I want more of this. I want want one every season, even though it's not gonna happen. But
That would be
I could dream.
cool. Giving us a dungeon.
I
'Cause
feel like
it's
That's too much content. It's a lot of content.
it's basically like sometimes people that are limited with friends in Destiny, you can't. You might have a hard time getting 6 people together for a raid, but you could easily get 2 other people together and do a dungeon. It's a raid type activity that only requires 3 people.
I would rather have Master Nightfalls fill that, because Master Nightfalls are just more rewarding and stuff. Although I think the dungeons, they serve the same purpose as a raid in that they're a unique location thing. I think Shattered Throne was definitely better than, or it was definitely bigger and different. Everyone really likes the grimdark Destiny location. Like, I will still argue that the encounters in Kingsfall aren't that good, but it's the location and the aesthetic that make Kingsfall everyone's favorite raid.
Man, I don't know, man.
Totems is not good. War Priest is not good. Golgoroth
Totems,
is
we got a
shit
little
as
bit of
fuck.
totems,
See,
totems in
that-
that dungeon, actually.
We did. That was cool.
Yeah.
That's when Destiny was just sitting in one spot in the back with the weapons of light and just snipe bosses in the head. Like,
Which they specifically avoided in the
Yep.
dungeon and in the raid. You can't do that except for the Gauss, but it's not as bad as like Callus.
Yeah.
You had 4 plates of. And in the raid, in the dungeon, they're gonna burn you to death if you don't move out of that well.
Think about like the Eater's boss too. He just stood there.
He shot a net at you. He tried.
Oh, yeah. He tried.
But yeah, I like the dungeon. I think that this was them. I would like to know how long this took to develop compared to Shattered Throne. I feel like
Mhm.
Shattered Throne had a lot more stuff in it. And
Yeah.
if people have again been complaining that this is too small, and if this was too small, I'd be fine with that if it means we can get it like 2 a
Yeah,
year.
I don't know. I don't know if I cared. Like, if I like it less because of the size. I don't know. I just I felt more mysterious to me for the Shattered Throne
Well, again,
in a way.
it was all
Yeah,
black.
maybe aesthetically.
See anything? It was in the Ascendant realm.
Mm-hmm.
It was very specifically built like that, whereas this wasn't. This is bright hive infrastructure. It's not supposed to be a creepy.
but they
It's supposed
also
to be
had
like brutish.
they had help with Activision and those other
That's
studios
true.
to help them out. Now they're by themselves trying to develop all this stuff.
So, I definitely would like to see more of it. Just give me more. It's
Mhm.
great. It's good for the game. People are enjoying it, and I do agree with Ice's point where it's just much easier if you're not a social person to get 2 people rather like other than another 5 to play with you.
Yeah.
So that's a big plus too. Just gonna hit on here.
Armor.
Okay, on that. Well, we'll talk about the drop too at the end. But did you guys do the xenophage?
Nope.
Not yet.
I did, and I don't know what the fuck the codes meant or anything, but it was pretty cool, like doing all that stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that it's a good quest. I'll probably do it when it's no longer a bug.
Yeah, the gun sucks.
26 ammo and a reserves. Yeah,
It's
I'm not going to use
fucking
that.
horrible. It's horrible.
Reddit. I seen on Reddit that people were saying that it's literally so bad that it's bugged. People
Yes,
were complaining all
uh,
about it.
Bungie's confirmed that it's like they said it's underperforming and that's not intentional.
Yeah.
So they should be fixing it.
I mean, so we'll wait and see. The quest for it is really cool, and then there's also a secret thing in the dungeon for that. So
Yeah,
Cool.
secret boss and all that.
yeah, so like it's cool. I love the direction they're taking it, and it's like one step at a time. But also the last drop in that dungeon is a pinnacle drop, and it drops masterwork and high stat rolls.
I don't think it drops high stat roll.
No?
No, it just drops
Made that up.
masterwork, which makes it look like it's high stat roll.
Okay, so it makes me excited.
I
but it's
don't
not.
think that there's anything that guarantees a high stat roll. which is an issue.
But and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. There, this is a very new system, so let them get their bearings, and then I'll start judging them on that. Because you are right, it's a pain in the ass that we can't just get high stat rolls. Not that I even know what the fucking stats mean in this game right now.
Yeah, so do we want to discuss Armor 2.0?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
You're the only one that understands it.
Actually, Beaker, Johnny said, "How do we feel about the new stat rolls on Armor?"
Yeah, I read it.
I don't wrap my head around it. Maybe because I'm a super casual. Beakers responds with, "Yes, it's pretty confusing. I'd ask Face for help. If anyone wants help figuring out what their armor should look like, definitely hit me up. I'm enjoying doing it. I wish that I had a little bit more control over it because, like, my Warlock has some really good distribution on some of the gear that I. But I keep getting stuff that has like max strength. I don't do melee builds on my Warlock ever. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's just all max strength stuff, and that's really irritating. So
I
we've got
haven't jumped on that rabbit hole yet with armor builds. Oh,
yeah.
Damn, Beaker said he got a 47. Damn.
See, now Sweaty said my only good armor has 73 base.
That's super high, though,
You're gonna
right?
have to qualify that because that's a lie. Okay, so it's Masterwork, so that would mean
Okay.
that it has 63 base.
63 is still
No, that
high,
would mean
though,
that it
no?
has 59, 50,
Okay.
61 base? Yeah, 61 base. Because Masterworks adds 12. Now, do you have a mod on there that increases it at all, Sweaty? Because I've got an armor piece that gives me like 80 points. But that's because it's Masterworked and I've put a mod on. Okay. Yeah, so we've got our 6 stats, 3 of which we had last year, and the three that we had in D1. And there's this other thing with a 7th stat that doesn't actually show up on there at all, but it does exist for the Paragon stuff. For like your dodge or your barricade or your rift. I don't know why they didn't add that somewhere. I guess they just felt that 7 stats would be too many, but it's Bungie, so they should do 7 anyway, but whatever. You've got mobility, which is really useful now. Gives like 20% movement speed increase, which is very good for strafing and crouching and jumping and all that. Doesn't affect sprint though. You've got resilience, which is useless because it increases shield up to like 10%, I think, at max. It's stupid. Don't use it. And then you've got recovery, which is also, again, still very useful. Those are all obvious. And then you've got discipline, intellect, and strength, which increase your grenade, super, and melee regen. The only difficult part about getting the system or understanding the system is just figuring out which pieces you should be using. What I normally do is I've got 3 different builds now that I have a discipline build, an int build, and a recovery build. Or was it a mobility build? I think it was a recovery build for PvP. I just find all my gear that has a lot of stuff, a lot of whatever it is I'm looking for. So for my int, I've got a 27, a 28, and a 33. I just throw those all on, and that gets me to 100. And that's really all you got to worry about. And then I use my mods to fill in the other stuff.
So based on like you playing around with the Armor 2.0, do you seem to gravitate more towards that system over the year 2 gear and the year 1 gear now?
Oh, it's way better.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
It's like everything you just said, it kind of just still confusing. So we're gonna go in depth on off camera about that one day. But yeah, I'm interested to know. I want a reason to try to look for certain gear pieces and stuff.
I'm curious for you guys saying that you haven't gone in depth with it yet in chat too. Are you just throwing on stuff that looks cool?
Oh, me? Absolutely.
So that's it. There's no strategy like, oh, this has a lot of
It's not
strength.
even that. Most of the shit I put on, I put a fucking, what's it called on?
Ornament on?
So it doesn't even really matter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Ice?
me, I'm just leveling up, so whatever I get is higher, I put on.
That's a good point for him now.
I figured I'll try to work on builds when I get to 950. But
Yeah.
like me being a Titan main, like today I was running through the dungeon with Peregrine Greaves on, or through the not the dungeon, through the forest thing. It would have been so nice to have a high strength build so I could get that back like every 30 seconds because that will one shot those yellow bar people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah, Peregrine. Well, then you should be using Monte Carlo if you're trying to do a melee build.
Yes, sir. And that gun's not bad.
I actually have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah,
forgot
on,
about
So
that
was
gun.
it a 33% chance to bring in your melee ability back?
It's high. It's nice.
Yeah, it's super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, on Hunter, I do I either do an int build or a strength build. The strength for the throwing knives mid tree, you can get that back pretty damn fast with all the perks there. And then intellect for the tether, because I like getting tether back fast. And that actually, with a full int build, Orpheus Riggs is almost like it was before the nerf.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's kind of fun to use.
there you go.
On lock, definitely go for discipline, because lock grenades, top tree stormcaller grenades are insane. You can get a ton of it back just by chaining, and then of course high discipline helps with that. And then for Titan, probably do strength, just because of all the fucking melees. Unless you're using Skull Fort, then you don't want to do strength because you're already getting
Right.
regen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so interesting. You guys are all just throwing stuff
I
on the
used to
high
I
stuff.
used to chase tier 12 gear builds in Destiny 1, but I can never.
Yeah, but
never
even
get-
that ice is nowhere near what this is. We're
Yeah.
just, that was way easier to understand because you're literally just going for that magic number.
Well,
And
what's
that's
hard
it.
to understand about this one? I'm curious.
It's just a lot of the
Just
what kind of
information.
build you're making, and then obviously from doing melee, I want the strength, and then like where the resilience and the recovery play in on top of that. I'll
Mhm.
get it. I just need to like sit down and like actually look at my inventory and see what I want to do. But yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
but like, all right, if you guys had to review this content and add the season pass onto there too, because we really didn't touch much about the season pass. But what would you give it? 1 through 10. It could be some decimals in there. Go ahead, Ice. If you had to review it today and you had to put a number on it, what are you giving it?
I'd give it a solid 8.
Solid 8 out of 10. I like it. Care to give us some reasoning?
Um. Let's see here. I mean, it would have been cool to have another space besides the moon, like some of the reused stuff, which it wasn't bad.
Remember though that, sorry to interrupt, but remember that reuse stuff, it's not like they can just copy paste. So if they're
Yeah, I
going to
know.
make something reused, they might as well make something.
would've
You
liked-
can't just say I want something else that's reused because it would have been easy.
I would have liked to see more new weapons, like still getting edge transit, still getting all that. I know it's time and money that they don't really have, but it would have been nice to see new world drops along with that. Because people
Are you talking about vendor drops or world drops?
just
You
like
mean
world drops.
like a vendor refresh or world loot pool refresh sort of thing?
Yeah, because oh hey, I got a prime engram. Let's go see the Master Raoul. 947 edge transit, and you're shaking your head, like man.
But why? Why would you want to see more weapons in that pool?
More variability, because we got new weapons with, like when they came out with Rise of Iron, they'd given us a whole new set of weapons.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing, personally. Dado's touched on it. I know Say No to Rage has a guy that I've recently warmed up to because of his Shadowkeep content. But a world loot refresh like that doesn't really help at all. It's novelty at first, and then it's just the same shit. Like you're going to dismantle it immediately anyway, unless it's something really strong. And if it is something really strong, I would much prefer that comes from an intentional loot grind, either the way that the new the Vex shit works, where you can go purchase the bounty for Mycora and intentionally grind that out, or the way that the table works, where you buy the essence and you go do a thing and you know what weapon you're going to get at the end. If they're going to add new weapons, I would much prefer that it gets added like that, so that I can choose and maximize my time and get the thing that I'm trying to get, as opposed to just hoping, like with Subtle Calamity, I just have to hope that I get a random world drop. And that's not fun. That's not good at all.
Right.
You're at the mercy of RNG.
But
That's just my
Mr. Face, I want your score.
I would probably give it an 8 or a 9. It's not like the entitled gamer in me would have really liked to see more stuff. Like, give us more Hive stuff, give us more content, give us more campaign story missions, which I know they're going to be spreading out throughout the year. But all in all, this is kind of really solid. They added good story beats. They added good new weapons. They added new repeatable things that we can do. They need to tweak the rewards on the dungeon and the nightmare hunts a bit, but that's something that they can work on.
That's a quick patch, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a systemic issue.
Mm-hmm.
They, most importantly, I was looking at this on Steam. I opened up Steam, and you know how it shows you that ad whenever you open it?
yeah,
They're going to have something to show on that ad every, like, month and a half, if that. Because there's either going to be a new season coming out, or there's an event like the Festival of the Lost, the Dawning, Crimson Days, the Revelry, Solstice of Heroes. Destiny 2 is going to be shown on Steam a lot because of this consistent update schedule that they're setting up. What they have to do is make sure that there are reasons for us to keep coming back and playing the game that aren't necessarily just RNG grind. Stuff like the seasonal titles, I think, is really good.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
There's this conspiracy theory that's making me really nervous that the raid challenges are going to be released one at a time throughout the year, one every season. That would be something that will get people to keep coming back, but I don't know if I'm going to care about Enlightened by the time I end up getting it then. We'll see. So yeah, probably an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Good content.
Yeah, I'm going to say 7.8. I don't think it's quite an 8. That's why I went with 7.8. I think it's one of the better DLCs that we've got in a long time as a smaller DLC. So it's got a ton of potential. I actually had a little problems with the story. Like, the story was really good, and then it just left you on that fucking cliffhanger.
Well,
which is good because obviously I think they have plans to see that through. I really hope they do.
They do.
Yeah,
they want to make it an evolving, living world.
So that's good to see. The content that we got, we've talked about it earlier. There's a lot of shit to do in the game right now. So yeah, overall I think 7.8. I think they have a ton of potential now. So
obviously you'd probably say that King's Fall was right.
Say that again.
You'd probably say King's Fall was better.
The raid or the content?
Oh, I'm sorry, Taken King.
Taken King, no. They're very different, and there's way more shit to do in Destiny 2 now than there's ever been in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
So, at the time, I'm gonna say it reinvigorated the game, Taken King, and made Destiny relevant again. Whereas I think Destiny now was in a better spot than Destiny 1 was back then.
Good answer.
That makes sense.
Because then you would go through a whole year of a dry spell.
Yeah, that was horrible. Like, I'm actually shocked now looking back. Like, why the fuck did I keep playing Destiny? Especially like when they stopped the content.
Because really the only thing that kept Destiny alive during all of Taken King and most of Rise of Iron was Trials. That the community on Twitch and all the streamers doing flawless carries and stuff is what kept the game relevant for
I
the
I
year.
would contest that. I don't think that's accurate at all.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
that's what kept it on Twitch, but I don't think that's what kept people playing it.
No, actually, Legion, if he's still here, he touched on that. It was a very small percentage of people that watched it on Twitch, and there was still a bigger percentage playing the game that they weren't playing trials. They were playing other content in the game. So where I think it's very good for the game to be on Twitch and to have that kind of like spotlight, but it wasn't the driving force for Destiny.
I don't know why people kept playing it during that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think trials did play a part of it because there was something to do at least every weekend.
Yeah.
And they did, you know what I mean? And it was fun. Like it was a fun mode back then. I have to say, like people really loved grinding that out and even like helping people get to the lighthouse. It was cool. But yeah.
But the drought though was from
The drought was bad.
From Taken King to Rise of Iron, there
Yeah.
was
Nothing
to do. Like after the first,
I think we got doubles during that time. And
Really?
the hotline bling emote came out. You guys
the
remember
only thing that brought you back was the events like Festival of the Lost and stuff.
Yeah, and I have to say the events now are way better than the ones in
Speaking
Destiny
of
1.
Festival of the Lost this year, it's the same thing. I was expecting them to change it, but it's the exact same thing as last year.
I think we should probably say that next.
Yeah. We're already running over a little time, and I was wondering, Face, do you want to touch on anything in the server before we sign out? It's up to you.
I have some things that I want to do, and I would really like if anyone has things that they think would improve the server, DM Apex mod mail, or if you want it to be a larger debate, put it in suggestions and feedback. The more info and the more ideas we get, the better. I have some stuff that we're going to be doing internally with our own structure, and I'm hoping to actually get Sweaty and Flicky set up with some kind of PvP role for helpers.
Shit.
It'll literally just be helpers, but they do PvP. But don't tell them that, because they'll feel less important.
I wonder if he's still here. He would have been happy to hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll touch more on Festival of the Lost next, probably.
Oh,
There's
and
still
those... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's still that hidden triumph that I'm hoping to find out about.
Oh, I didn't even... I know, it's got to be that thing. For the
You gotta be more
999?
specific than that.
The 999. Remember the lore thing?
I am at 967, 68. I'm at 968.
Yeah.
I think the highest person is at like 986. No one's getting to 999 during the duration of the festival.
Yeah, but what... Excuse me. Oh, actually, that wouldn't work either, because each season, their artifacts can reset, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that wouldn't even work. I was thinking it would carry over, and then maybe the next season that would kind of become available to us, but I guess not.
Well, if they boost, I should be able to get... I got no armor from my pinnacle, from my raid run this week. That was really irritating. But with the new pinnacle system next week, I should actually be able to get to 62. I should be able to get to 63 pretty easily. No, 64.
There you go.
So hopefully I can do that. And then 54. And 60 won't be too far out of range. But even then, 30... You need a lot of levels. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I have a surprise for the server tomorrow.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Oh, you should be. But seriously, keep your eyes peeled for that. Nothing crazy, but it's nice.
All right.
But I think we're going to be done for today. We went a little over.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Guys got anything to say before we sign out? Josh, you're going to get banned. Little bit. All right, guys. So that's about all the time we have for tonight's show. You can find out more about us on our Discord link. It's down below. And we have our YouTube channel where we're going to post this video tomorrow. And we have a clan Twitter. We have individual Twitter handles you guys can hit us up on. They're listed on the right below the video there. And we're going to be trying to do this every Sunday, so please come and support us. We enjoy it. It's a good time.
Come join the server and give our new PvP helpers something to do. Make them carry you to legend. And don't let them sleep until they do.
Guys, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night.